I kid you not, I got my hands on a Nintendo Switch, finally, after months of waiting. This is the red-blue Joy-Con. Now, this video is not a normal unboxing. It's a part 2 to a horror story that happened to me when I got this from my local GameStop. This particular Switch is, it looks like a little damaged from the outside. It doesn't look awful, but I'm a little concerned that there might be some issue with it. If you haven't seen the story, you should definitely watch that before you watch this unboxing. That being said, let's get down to the unboxing. The Nintendo Switch in the box like this is very light. It weighs in at less than 3.5 pounds. When they handed it to me at GameStop, I was a little nervous that the Switch wasn't even in here. But I peeked inside, and thankfully it is. That's as far as I went. You've got pictures of the Switch on both sides, Nintendo on the top, and then on the bottom you have all your information and what the box includes, and then on the sides you have a few more promotional pictures of the Switch in all its glory. Coming around at the bottom, we've got a little cardboard flap here. When you peel it up, you notice there's a little setup instruction on how to charge it. It looks like there's a need help number that you can call. The presentation here is really nice. Clearly it is all about the mobility and the handheld nature of the Switch. That's what's presented to you first. Very clean. You pop this little piece off, and then we've got the rest of our goodness in the bottom here. Before I pop anything out of the top piece, I'm more concerned about the damaged box. Thankfully, it looks like the side that was hit, which is over here, is where I see an HDMI cable, I see the power adapter. So thank goodness the main Switch dock is on the other side of where the actual box got damaged. I want to take that out just to peek at it now. It looks like we have a little usage pamphlet, health and safety information. We'll put that on the side. Here's the actual dock. Slide that out, and that's actually really beautiful. Again, extremely lightweight. This is just the dock, of course, but there is the Nintendo Switch logo kind of englazed on the side, so the dock's okay. Then in the center, we have probably the main piece. Yes, this is the kind of main hub for the Joy-Con controller, where these two red and blue neon controllers slide into. This is also very lightweight. Feels pretty ergonomic, fits in my hands well, so that's good. Back here and in the front, it looks like we have the pieces that connect to the sides of the Joy-Con controller if you want to use them free of the controller, and you just want to use them kind of like Wiimotes or Wii nunchucks. So we have two little handheld straps. We'll put those to the side, and then that's it. That's actually a very simple unboxing. There's really nothing else inside. So I'll put the main box over there. We have our cables, and then the main Switch unit pops right out. Now this is definitely heavier than the dock. It feels kind of like an old school tablet. It has a glossy screen. This is the kind of screen that I could tell you're going to want to get a screen protector for. It's just something that looks like it could get scratched and damaged pretty easily. I actually don't have the screen protector yet, so I'm going to have to go out and get that. Flip around to the back, and we've got our little Switch kickstand. There we go, that comes right out. Feels pretty weak. I'm not sure if there's way to do it that I'm not doing it, but we'll see how long that holds up. It stands the test of time. Power button, our volume controls on the top. Looks like we've got some exhaust fans right there. The game card pops in here. Headphones on the top. Much better than the 3DS, at least the original 3DS, where the headphone jack was on the bottom and it was so uncomfortable. And speaking of the bottom, we have the charging port and serial number on the bottom. And then on the sides are where our Joy-Con controllers slide into. The Joy-Con controllers themselves are wrapped in their own neat individual little packages. Again, the big thing I notice here is that it's just also kind of tight and compact. I don't even really see any large manual. It's kind of just all on the box. It's all digital. You kind of go online if you need help setting it up. But here are the Joy-Con controllers. I don't think I've ever seen a console get unboxed so simply and quickly. There's really not a lot of components here. At least in the case of my horror story with this damaged box and what I had to go through to get this Switch, everything seems to be in good order. I don't see any cracks, I don't see any damage. Of course, the final test is going to be to actually plug everything in and test it out. So while I do that, I hope you guys consider subscribing. Check out some of my other videos. I kid you not, is a channel all about crazy stories that happen to me, a New Yorker, on a seemingly daily basis. And if this doesn't work, there's going to be a part 3 to this whole story because I'll have to go back and return it. But let's see what the answer on that is.